Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala Rasulin Kareem. Amma ba'd. Continuing discussion on the tongue and the harms of speaking that which is ill. In the previous sessions, we mentioned some of the possible punishments that we may get for speaking wrongly with our tongues and for not being able to control our tongues. And we spoke about how every single word that we speak, we will be held accountable for it on the Day of Judgment. We also spoke about how a person protecting their tongue is a sign of their iman, and it is a sign of them being truly a Muslim in the truest sense of the word, which indicates that a person who does not have control over their tongue, then they have not reached that level where they can truly call themselves a true follower of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the greatest sense. And there are multiple ahadith. After hearing all of these things, it makes sense that there are multiple ahadith that indicate that a person should learn when to keep quiet. And that is when they think to themselves before they speak, that when I speak, will it be something that is beneficial or not? If it is something that is not beneficial, then it falls under a hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ said, "Min husni Islam al-mar'i tarkuhu ma la ya'nihi." That from the beautifulness of the Islam of a person is for him to leave that which does not concern him. So if we are speaking something that maybe it might not necessarily be harmful to anybody else, but there's still absolutely no benefit. We're just speaking for the sake of speaking. There's no real benefit in terms of dunya or in terms of deen in our speech, then that also should be left out. And a person is considered a true and a high level believer if they leave out this sort of speech. And so this is something that we should keep in our minds. How many things are there throughout the day that we say which do not have any sort of benefit for us and may be held against us on the Day of Judgment? On top of this, there are so many different ahadith that tell us that we should keep silent. We spoke last time about the hadith that mentions that none of you will be a true believer. Whoever believes in Allah and the last day, then he should speak good or remain silent. This is a very general statement that encapsulates so many different scenarios, which means that, again, before we say a single word, we should be thinking, having a process in our mind, weighing the benefits and harms of whatever we say and seeing that, does it pass this test of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam of either speaking good or remaining silent. And this is no wonder that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam also said, "Man samata naja." Whoever has stayed silent indeed has saved himself. So there's so many different times that we may have experienced this in our life as well, that a word slipped from our tongue and it was a means of so much disaster in our life, so much stress, the breaking of relationships, the ruining of so many different aspects of our life just because we couldn't control our tongue. And so the statement of the Prophet ﷺ rings so truly that man samata naja, the person who stays silent indeed has saved himself. There's so many times where we feel the urge to say something. So we have to learn how to resist that urge. This is actually a form of jihad. As a few ahadith mentioned, that a person who struggles against himself in order to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then this is a form of jihad. And so a person who is struggling against himself to prevent himself from saying something which is harmful to others, from saying something which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like, this indeed is also a form of jihad. And finally, there is a hadith that mentions that in the morning, every morning, a person's tongue actually, the rest of the person's body parts actually go and they seek refuge from their tongue, right? And they say, إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ بِكَ فَإِنِ اسْتَقَمْتَ اسْتَقَمْنَا وَإِنِ اعْوَجَجْتَ اعْوَجَجْنَا. That, basically our fate is tied to you, O tongue. Imagine all the body parts are saying collectively to the tongue that our fate is tied to you. So if you are good and upright and steadfast and good, then we will also be good and upright. But if you are crooked, then we will also be crooked. So again, it goes to show that the tongue holds such a high place in Islam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq and allow us to be from those who learn how to speak silent when we don't have anything good to say. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. اللهم لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. اللهم لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من شر سمعنا ومن شر أبصارنا ومن شر لساننا ومن شر من شر منينا. اللهم طهر قلوبنا من النفاق وأعمالنا من الرياء وألسنتنا من الكذب وأعيننا من الخيانة، فإنك تعلم خائنة الأعين وما تخفي الصدور. ربنا
آمين.
تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अल्लाहुम्मा इन्नी लका सुमतु व अला रिज़्क़िका अफ़्तरतु। ख़वातीन व हज़रात, रोज़ा इफ़्तार कर लीजिए। अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर। अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह। अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह। अशहदु अन्ना मुहम्मदर रसूलुल्लाह। अशहदु अन्ना मुहम्मदर रसूलुल्लाह। حي على الصلاة، حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح، حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله